Well, the remains of Fidel Castro will retrace the journey he made across Cuba shortly after seizing power more than 50 years ago. Beginning tomorrow, Castro's ashes will work their way to Santiago on the eastern end of Cuba, where his revolution began and where he will now be laid to rest. Steve Harrigan has the latest for us live from Havana. Steve.
Jenna, the world leaders have already begun to arrive here in Havana for what is expected to be a massive rally in honor of Fidel Castro at 7 o'clock tonight on Revolution Square. It's mainly been regional leaders so far, the head of Venezuela, Ecuador, Mexico, Bolivia. Interesting to note, too, who is not coming. Most of the European leaders, even President Putin of Russia, a longtime close ally of Cuba, has said he's too busy to attend. There was much debate over whether the U.S. would send an official delegation. The U.S. has decided not to send an official delegation due to, quote, concerns about the way the Cuban government is run. And yet, despite no official delegation, 2 U.S. officials will be in attendance. Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes, as well as the top U.S. diplomat here, the Chief of Mission. So no delegation, but U.S. officials. And those ashes, as you mentioned, will go on the road tomorrow across the country before they are finally put to rest on Sunday in Santiago. And the big question now, with Fidel Castro removed from the scene, he's always been seen as the big impediment to U.S. relations with Cuba, but now it could change again under President-elect Trump, who has already taken to Twitter to say he would, quote, terminate the deal with Cuba unless it becomes a better deal for the Cuban people and the U.S. people. Jenna, back to you.
Steve, thank you.